Mary
figured
Liz, who are we waiting for?
Well, Bruce was going to be a little late, so I think we could start without him. Jerry Carey, but I'm not sure because she had asked for the link twice if she's going to be able to figure it out.
Do we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum, so
All
we could
right.
start.
Good.
Perfect. Come on,
So we-
Mr. Chairman, start it off.
Okay, and let me see, is Petoniak there too, or is Stevie off?
Yeah, Steve's
Steve,
not gonna
yeah, he's off for a few days. He's actually
Good.
not feeling, yeah, he had a little bout with, thought he had a heart attack, but it wasn't. So he's been
Oh
in the
my
hospital
God.
for a few days.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Thank
God.
goodness it wasn't.
Well,
Yeah,
give him
no,
a
it wasn't.
Good.
Okay,
Give him
all
our best.
right. Well, let's get rolling. Geez, if Steve's not here, this meeting's gonna go quick.
Yes,
You're
it
not
is.
kidding.
Pass that along to him, would you please?
Yes, give him
All
our
right.
best.
Well, first of all, thanks for everybody getting up here and getting rolling again. I can't believe the summer's over.
I know.
Let's roll call. We're good. We do have a quorum. First item on the agenda. Is there any public comment?
There is not.
No public? Boy, we get no respect around here.
I
Next
know.
item, approval of our minutes from the June 11th meeting. Everybody have a chance to take a peek at those?
Yes, move to approve.
I'll
Any kind-
second that. I'll
Corrections?
second,
None?
Harry.
We have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Bills. Did you see all the bills in this packet? You guys are spending a lot of money down there.
Yep, that's all our plans that we're working on. SAPA, hazard mitigation, comp plan, transportation, you name it.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Anybody have any questions on any of the bills? No questions? Hearing none? Entertain a motion to approve the bills as submitted?
I'll make
moved.
that motion, Harry.
Wow. Guys, pick somebody on that. And a second.
John
Very
and
good. All in
Cindy.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys must have someplace to go. Everybody is moving along here. Wow.
We've done our homework.
Yes, indeed.
Actually
Liz, would you
prepared.
review the communications for us, please?
I will, and they are basically all letters of support for grants. I don't know if anybody has any questions on any specific, but that's what they all are.
Is there any specific project you want to highlight on any of those? Because it looks like you had a couple of very nice projects.
Yes.
Yep. I know we did, Steve actually did a lot to Sandy for on behalf of our department, putting the grants together, Blakely Borough on the Main Street project.
Which is looking really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lackawanna Ave, same thing. Reconstruction of the retaining wall by the Radisson.
Yes.
Ah,
We'll have
okay.
those submitted
Yes.
on September 30th.
What was that, Brenda?
Both of those grants will submit for September 30th.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
You know, Harry, I'd like to make a comment on G. Does that Garden of Cedar have any, you think that has any chance, or did it miss this round of intermodal? Because, they're doing a lot of nice work down there. They have with Mike Hanley's group, and there's only more to be done in that lower Cedar Avenue section down there,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know if it missed the round. I would assume they got it in on time.
Well, they have, for the multimodal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
till the end of the month.
Okay, good. So you still have a chance, John.
Well, it's not anything, but I mean, we worked with Mike Hanley's group on some of those earlier projects,
Yeah.
and they come out really, really nice,
They did a great job there.
Good, good. Okay. Anybody have any other questions on any of our communications? Hearing none, let's move on to old business, transportation.
Do we have to approve the communications or do we just
No,
highlight them?
just
No.
highlight them. Yeah.
Highlight them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, old business. So transportation planning and the downtown bicycle network, I don't have any information because Steve wasn't here to give it to me.
Right.
All right, so we'll move on to SAPA.
Okay.
Okay, we had a Zoom meeting with the committee on August 11th to discuss restarting the project. I think Cindy, you were on the call, right?
Yep. Mhm.
All of the municipalities still have one meeting remaining with the consultant. I am working on an updated municipal agreement. We had to change the dates and I'll have to get that out. And Everybody's still in agreement with adopting it all pretty much at the same time, so we have to work that schedule out. Everybody did agree that they would wait until the last municipality was ready to. Everybody's in various stages at this point, and Clark Summit didn't think they were going to be ready until March, so everybody said they would wait until March. So that's our target date for adoption. Prior to that, we are going to have some type of a virtual presentation and website information in lieu of the public forum that we were supposed to have at the VOTEC school. So we're going to have to work on that probably around the end of the year. We'll have that up and people for the public to look at.
Oh, okay. Hard to believe SAP is moving along.
Yeah,
Great.
and
Wow.
things are going well. Cross fingers.
Yeah.
Except for a pandemic that got in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all. Good. Anybody have any questions on SAPA? Let's move on to flood risk.
Okay, on the floodplain maps, the new maps are in effect. They went into effect August 5th. Everybody has adopted a new ordinance except Fell Township.
Wow.
They are suspended from the program. However, I have a zoning ordinance for them that I just got like 2 days ago, and there are floodplain regulations in the zoning. I'm hoping that that is addressing the new, the new FEMA requirements, and that's going to be what they're using for their ordinance. But they, they're not going to adopt this until mid-October. So until then, they're kind of hoping we don't have any flood issues.
Yes.
Yeah. Liz, I liked your comment there that they went into effect on August 5th, 9 years after the preliminary plans were presented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wheels of government move slowly, don't they?
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, the levies had a lot to do with it. There were
Yeah.
issues
It's
with that.
Scranton. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And up an elephant, right? Oh,
Yeah, and elephant. Yep.
I
Good,
have
let's
I have a
Ed.
comment to make about that. It's very interesting because years ago when I worked for DCED, we handled the floodplain management program, and I knew the guys, Bob Link and Steve Majusiak from FEMA. And when we bought the house from my aunt, we were in a flood prone area, and then they built a flood project. And prior to the flood project, prior to Seco Associates and everybody, doing all the engineering work, I had been in contact with FEMA about getting a LOMAR or a letter of map amendment or revision for our property. And it took a couple of years, but I got it, and I got the information that we're not in the floodplain, and then of course, when the flood project was finished, so did, other people too. So now with the new maps, the neighbor behind me, like there's my house, and then there's the alley, and then another street back, that neighbor, the person next to him, my neighbor next door to me that I can almost reach out and touch his house, and the neighbor next to him are in the floodplain in the new maps. The borough manager told the guy behind me to talk to me to see how he got the letter dated like, I don't know what it was, 2012 from FEMA, that we are not in the floodplain because we have the LOMAR, and only 4 neighbors are in and the rest are out, including the ones that are near the floodplain or the flood project. But there's like 4 or 5 neighbors that are in and the rest are out. So now my neighbor I gave him all the information that I had, and they told him the nearest benchmark with Decker's Bridge in Jessup. So I can't imagine there's not a near benchmark, but something's got to be wrong somewhere. And I guess his uncle is John Blake. So we called John, and John's going, hey, I worked with the Redevelopment Authority and I worked with DCD on this project. You are not in a flood prone area. The purpose of the flood project is so you're not in the flood prone area, but there's scattered homes around my community here that got letters from their bank saying that they have to purchase flood insurance because they're in the zone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And is that because I know Mayfield, they were having an issue with the levee up there. They said it was uncertified. So even though they're protected by the levee, they put them all back in the floodplain.
But yeah,
because they said it wasn't certified.
They didn't say that there. They just, my neighbor told me the letter said from his bank, both neighbors told me the letter said in the bank that they need to purchase flood insurance because they're now in the AE zone. That's all it said. And again, like my next door neighbor is, and the neighbor next to him is not. And the other neighbor behind me is not. So it's just, it's hit and miss. It doesn't make any sense. So he's, my one neighbor is starting the process of contacting FEMA and the Army Corps or
Yeah.
whatever and see what's going on. But there's got to be a mess up somewhere, I would think, you know.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. And the LOMARs that were in effect prior to these new maps, I think some of them or most of them are carrying through, because in Madison where I live, we got a letter, saying that the LOMARs on X number of properties are still carrying through on the new map. So
And I'm assuming
hopefully the
mine is-
borough has that.
Yeah, I'm assuming because the borough manager didn't get a copy of the letter back in 2012 when I got my letter that I was not in a flood prone, but he got it 3 weeks ago. The letter
Okay.
dated 2012.
There you go.
So I don't know.
Well, hopefully get that worked out. The good
Yeah.
news is we got 39 communities that did adopt, so at least we
Yeah.
got coverage for them. That's good. Liz, good
Right.
work on that, because I know that's been a pain for you along the way.
Yeah.
Stay in
Oh
touch,
my,
you know,
never ending.
never ending. All right, we
Hopefully
have
they
no
won't
update.
change the maps again for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anybody
they
have any
correct
other
them.
questions on floodplain mapping?
I know, Harry, there's still some issues and, because of, even with the new levees in Scranton, there's areas that are just inches short of what the new hydraulic data is. And I know Donnie King's well versed on it, but you think with all that work, we'd be safe, but there's still people that require floodplain insurance because of the decertification, the non-certification of the levees for a few inches. It's inches, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
The insurance is not that expensive though, is it, John?
It's very expensive.
Is it really?
Yeah. And it doesn't cover
It is.
basement flooding.
Huh, no, of course not.
Really?
Harry, it's crazy expensive. I have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dave, is it really? Wow.
My
Yeah.
neighbor had to pay $1,000 for a policy for a year.
No,
Wow.
it's close to $2,000 a year,
Yeah.
depending on what you're covering.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I,
you're
and I
right
would
there.
assume that depends on what zone you're in.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. All right.
And
Anybody
Yeah,
else?
if you're in with the basement flooding, what Cindy said, that they tell you if you're in a floodplain not to have any valuables or anything in your basement.
Yeah. Even if it's finished basement, it's not covered.
Yep.
The argument is that if there's a disaster declaration, FEMA pays for water heaters and furnaces.
Wow.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't pay for very much.
No, it doesn't, for the cost that it pays for
insurance.
everybody else in New Orleans and everywhere else who's flooded up to the 3rd floor. So
Bad. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions on floodplain mapping? Let's move on to hazard mitigation since we don't have our real
We don't have
passenger
the rail
service.
stuff. Right.
I'm sorry?
No, you're correct. We don't have the rail information.
No, we
Okay.
haven't met since we went into COVID time. So, I'm sure that we need to resurrect and probably have a meeting virtually because it's still moving ahead, but we just haven't had a formal meeting.
Oh, okay. I see you wrote Malsky a big check though.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. I hope he's working on it.
Yeah, that was for the, I believe that was our LSA. Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's move on to hazard mitigation.
Okay, we do have a draft. It's on the county's website. It's there for public comment for 2 weeks, and it's actually ending tomorrow. I did get a few comments from a couple municipalities, minor typos that they had saw. So, and I saw a couple typos too. So hopefully, after tomorrow, everything will be in order. It's going to FEMA. Once FEMA approves it, it goes to FEMA. Once they get back to us, I think they have 45 days. When they get back to us, the county commissioners will have to adopt, and then we have to start the process of having all the municipalities adopt.
Have your communities been participating?
Yes, we've gotten intent to adopt and to participate from all 40. We've had some communication with all but 2. So I guess 38 out of 40 is pretty good.
Wow.
But they all are going to adopt. So I mean,
Did Music get back in touch with you?
yes, they did.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
That was the one project you asked me to take care of. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, good. All right, good. So we're looking forward to that for next year.
Yep.
Okay.
Mary Liz.
Yes.
Who's the point person for Scranton? Donnie King?
Yes,
Okay, then you know it'll get done.
Yes,
yeah.
No,
exactly.
Donnie's a great resource. Boy, he's the best.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on the steering committee as well for that
Very
project.
good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yes, he is. Anybody, any other question on hazard mitigation? Hearing none, let's move on to a new project, Chesapeake Bay Watershed Action Plan.
Well, Brenda and I kind of got hit with this about, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yes. Yes. A meeting was set up on our calendars that we attended
Good for
virtually.
you.
Uh-huh. Well, where else would they
Oh.
put the project? Mm-hmm.
This is DEP. The state has to come up with an action plan for the Chesapeake Bay watershed. The plans are already in place for what they consider the tier 1 counties, where they get 50% of the pollutants, which is down along the Maryland border.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Those counties are done. They're moving along up through the different tiers. We are tier 4, which is for the upper end of the watershed. We have to create a plan with DEP's guidance to develop goals to meet the EPA regulations for the pollutants going into the watershed. It's a voluntary program, but if we don't do it, if we don't have
Sure.
local input, EPA is going to tell us what we have to do without any input.
Yeah, yeah.
Mary Liz, are you working with Bernie McGurl?
I was just gonna ask that.
Bernie,
Assistance?
yeah, we have to form a committee, which we
Yeah.
haven't done yet, but
Okay.
we had a list of people, and Bernie's on the list. Actually, Cindy, we put you on the list, and John, we put you on the list as well.
Me?
Yeah. You or Donnie, whoever wants to participate. But we haven't had a second meeting yet with DEP. We were supposed to have one yesterday, but we had to cancel. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we're going to have.
Okay.
The Conservation District is involved, and actually, we're kind of hoping they would take the lead in this, because a lot of their projects are more geared toward this, with the farms and the dirt and gravel road projects and things. We were hoping that they would take the lead, but we haven't worked that out yet.
Okay.
Right. And they said that we would pretty much partner with another county, 1 or 2 other counties, where they would provide us with guidance and support in means of being able to hire a staff person or to hire a consultant for that. So
Excellent.
yeah, so that's where that is at. So I'm gonna go back to the commissioners, get their views on it, and then we're gonna have a meeting probably in 2 weeks where we need to come back with saying we are participating, how we're participating, who we would suggest that's on the leadership.
So the meeting of the stakeholders will be in 2 weeks, or that's just an internal meeting?
That's just a meeting with DEP, again, with myself and Mary Liz. There was only a few people that were part of that. And they're looking for who we want to be on the leadership team.
Got it.
Do they have a timetable for completion of this project?
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, which I doubt.
Yeah,
Oh, I doubt it too.
yes. Because all plans have to be active and in place by 2025. So.
Wow, okay. Any other questions?
So this is an addition then to MS4 that all the municipalities are doing.
Yeah,
Right.
Because I mean, we hired a consultant and we had our pollution reduction plan prepared and submitted. And then COVID hit and we never had it. We could not then have our public meeting on it or whatever like that. And so Donnie's been in contact with the DEP, but I don't know where we're at. That MS4 is just another gigantic, just like this, an unfunded mandate, you know?
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
unbelievable. Okay. Let's move on to APA, PPA.
Okay, I didn't have anything written up on that, but I could tell you that it's a virtual conference now.
I just
Instead
saw
of
the-
being held here in Scranton, it's going
Yep.
to be virtual. We're hoping it's coming back to Scranton in 2023, I think they said.
Yep.
I actually just got the agenda or the conference at a glance the other day, and it's limited for 2 days and just a few sessions. So
I saw the email. I see you guys are presenting.
Yeah. Yes,
Good.
yes, we're doing,
Good.
Steve is doing one on the bike study, and I am doing one with Donnie and Ted Ritzik and AJ from EPD on the SAPA plan.
Very good.
The ordinances, yep.
Fantastic. And Cindy, did I see
Yeah.
you helped out on this project too?
Yeah, I'm co-chairing it with Howard Grossman.
Thank
So,
you.
you're
Thank you for your help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're, it's getting there. At this
Yeah.
point, we're having a meeting Friday, and that'll probably be our last, maybe one more meeting before the conference. But we are getting some sponsors coming in. The county commissioner sponsored. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
We all are, and we're hoping to at least break even anyway.
Yeah. It's a shame we have to deal with this COVID right now because it does help the local economy. We had a lot of people come into town for this last time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, next year's in Lancaster, and then the following year somewhere else, and they've already been established. So we're looking at 2023.
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be all revved up again for that.
Hopefully we'll all be here for that.
Very good. Well, good luck with that because it's, when is the date on that?
1920.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 19th and 20th, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. Good luck. It's going to
Thanks.
work out. A virtual conference.
Yeah,
Up
it'll be
first.
interesting.
We're on the cutting edge at first. Okay. Anybody have any other comments on old business? If not, let's move on to new business. Our development reviews for June, July, August, September. Wow, we had a bunch of them.
Yeah, as you could see, there was quite a few, and in putting this agenda together like last minute, I didn't realize that Petoniak had not numbered the pages.
Yeah.
So I don't want to confuse everybody, but let's start with June. And the only one I want to highlight in June is the Harmony Hills Phase 3.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
is everybody good with that? I might be able to get it
Yes.
up on the screen if we're not.
No,
Oh my God, that's right in the beginning.
I have
Got
it.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a doable, this is the Phase 3 project, 57 lots. It is a new developer. At one point, it was Frank Hubbard had phases
Yeah.
1 and phase 2. This Mark Kozik now has bought phase 3. It's a doable project. They were just missing some information. The big thing that we found, and the borough found as well, not real happy about it, is there was a narrow strip of land that apparently was left to Frank Hubbard, and it had to have been subdivided out without anybody's approval. And the borough is trying to figure out how that happened and what their intent is with this, these areas of, they're actually unbuildable areas, so I don't know why Frank would want to retain them.
You incorporate it into something?
We don't know at this
We're not
point.
sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So we haven't heard
Right.
back since the June review.
We have not, and they actually haven't been back to the borough since then either. They're waiting for a lot of their MPDES and other permits. So there is an extension that the borough is granting for this review. So there's nothing back yet.
Got it. Okay. Next.
All right, in July, I just want to do the one in Waverly Township, Waverly Site Development. Are we good with that, or do I need to get it up on the screen for you? Or?
Good.
Let me find it here. I'm getting there.
Now I got it. Okay. I got it.
Okay. This is another project that's actually been extended by the township as well. This is a total of 18 single-family lots and a 38 unit, and it's not a retirement home. It's an age-restricted multifamily structure.
Okay.
Okay. First thing they had to do was that type of a use was not listed in the zoning ordinance. Senior living center was a permitted use, but that is not what they're doing. That would be a facility licensed by the state.
Mhm.
So they did get a special exception on a use that wasn't listed to do the multifamily. It's basically an apartment building for 55 plus is what it is.
Okay,
Mhm.
Okay, there are some major issues with this right now. One of them is there's a right of way that was probably not dedicated, but from a previous subdivision back in the early 70s, that there's a dispute on whether the township actually owns it or who owns it, and they're proposing a second access into this development through this right of way that goes out onto Glenburn Road. And there's like I said, right now, a dispute between the township, the developer, the neighbors on who owns it and how that's going to be resolved.
Gosh, geez.
okay.
Yeah. And then to also throw a little more confusion into the pot, the township line is right at Glenburn Road, and Glenburn Road is actually owned by South Abington Township. So
Oh, boy.
they're
Oh,
involved with
gosh.
that as well too.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
boy.
So that is going to take a little bit to get resolved.
I'll say.
Mary Liz,
Yes.
because of that, I don't know what the municipal planning code says, but would South Abington have review of this subdivision because of that condition or no?
I believe they would have an input on the occupancy permit.
Okay,
If they wanted to look at the plan before they issued the occupancy permit for that road, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Would make sense.
And the original plan, on a sketch plan that was probably well over a year ago, they had proposed a loop road and not going out onto Glenburn Road, but I
Oh.
guess they decided they want to have a through road, and again, a lot of the neighbors they think it's going to be a shortcut between Abington Road and Glenburn Road, so. It
It
may go
sounds like-
back to a loop road if they don't resolve that right-of-way problem.
Mhm.
That sounds like the same problems they had between Clark Summit and South Abington a few years back with the townhomes.
Right.
yeah,
Rose is shaking her head. Yeah, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. We're accessing it through Clark Summit. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. We don't want traffic on our street here. Uh-oh.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
you know,
Same issue.
that can get complicated when you're in two municipalities.
Yeah.
Just a quick aside, when we were working on a Mount Airy Casino project, and we had to do a few different subdivisions on the land to consolidate parcels in. We had something like 348 feet in Pocono Township, and we would submit to them just to get Pocono Township approval because of the MPC, which says if you're in two municipalities, they have a right to review it. So,
Yeah.
with all the financing and everything, we didn't want to have just a little, like say a little glitch in the whole thing. So it's important that happens,
Definitely.
Good move. Okay. Any questions on Waverly?
No,
Liz,
that's a mess. Let the
let's go to the
lawyers
next
make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. And the engineers too, John. Let's not forget them.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this looks like somebody picked this up here real quick later on. I don't know who. I never heard of Scott Smith. I don't know who that is. What is he with a firm, Mary Liz?
What is this for?
I mean,
I'm
the
sorry.
plan for Harry joked about the engineers, but it says
Yeah.
it's for by a Scott Smith and
On the Waverly.
the old boxing
Oh.
club summit. I mean, we
Oh,
don't get
that's
to.
actually, all right. You know what? That was actually, HRG is the company working on that. I don't know if he's employed by them.
I would say that's correct. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right on that, John. I've never heard of him either.
But if he's with HRG, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt did this review. He probably put the guy's individual name down instead of the company's name.
Yeah, it really should be unless it's an individual surveyor or something.
It should be the
Sometimes
company,
the engineer's listed as the developer, and that's not the case,
Yeah.
right,
But it is what it is. Okay, next.
right.
Next. Liz?
Okay, also in July, second from the last, Archibald Woodbury Estates,
Got it.
okay?
Got it.
Moving down. Okay.
Okay, everybody good?
Mhm.
Okay, this was another one that Matt had reviewed, and I'm not too familiar with it. 61 lots on the end of Sealy Drive. I'm not even sure where that is, to be honest with you. Again, residual parcels that they didn't really define what they were using them for. They're having a cul-de-sac coming off of an existing cul-de-sac. Yeah, the water company letter was missing and a few other issues on landscaping and street trees, street lights, things like that.
Oh,
And no surveyor seal apparently, or engineer seal either.
Jeez.
okay. Still have some work to do.
I think that even though listed as barn, I think this is a Penn Eastern job, the old Pasonic.
Yeah, and I don't know why, see, I'm just noticing this now. I don't know why Matt was not using the company name.
Yeah, it's Penn Eastern. The boys go under
It
Paul
is.
and Tony. They go under Penn Eastern now, right? Right, Dave?
Panoni does? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, not Panoni.
No,
It's the old
Pasonic.
Pasonic Engineering.
The Sonic. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're
Right,
you're
right.
correct, John.
What are the two boys' names? Paul and Andrew. Yeah, they changed it to Penn Eastern. But that's their address. I know that because Mike Amato's listed and he's been with them forever. You know.
okay, good.
Right.
Next, Liz?
Next one, August. Just a quick note on this one, Newton Township, fourth one down, Terra Manor,
Fourth one down.
fourth one down.
Got it.
I'm just about there. Terra Manor, we got it.
All right. This was actually, this plan is actually not too bad. The issue with this one is, this was a subdivision that was proposed and approved by the township in 1980.
Jeez.
It was not completely finished, and the developers came in and thought that they could just finish it, but the 5-year period has,
Oh, yeah.
obviously 1980, there's new ordinances in place, and they actually submitted a check for us just for $75 because they didn't think it was a major subdivision. But they had to come back with a new plan. And then, like I said, there's just a couple minor things on here with there's wetlands. I believe they're probably addressed, but and again with this landscaping and the streets.
Please.
The issues with this are right now they did not pay the rest of the $690. They've only paid us $75. So they're on record, or we're on record, that they need to get us the rest of that money, or they're not getting this review. We consider it, incomplete at this point. Haven't heard back from them since 21st of July.
Is that the new fee schedule or the old fee schedule?
This is the old fee schedule.
Yeah, we better hurry up, otherwise we're gonna have a new fee schedule soon.
I don't know, are they grandfathered in, or we're not allowed to use that term
Absolutely
anymore?
not. Absolutely not. No way. Go ahead. What's next?
Okay, September, the second one, Triborough Industrial Park in Oliphant.
Right.
Okay, this is the reason why we're revising our fee schedule, or felt it was time to look at it. We are getting a lot of these large 1 million+ square foot warehouses.
Yeah.
This one is actually, this is an industrial park that I believe when it's completely done is going to have about 8 of these 1 million square foot warehouses.
Wow.
They're proposing in the phase 1, 5, and they range from 1.2 million square feet to 500,000 square feet.
Wow.
If we went under our current fee schedule, they would have had to pay something around $37,000. So you have to justify your fees, and you can't justify somebody's yearly salary on one
Right.
review.
Right.
No, you can't.
So,
No.
right.
Gotta be fair.
So we'll talk about that in a couple minutes on the new fee schedule, but
Yeah.
Toniak did this review. There was some issues with buffers. They did say it was a subdivision, but they're not showing any lots on the plan. There was a lot consolidation apparently that we didn't see, although they said we saw it. Missing surveyor seal, nothing from the water company. And they did not give us the phase 2, so we're not sure how this is, you know, going to follow through, because we do believe there's going to be an exit or an entrance off of the Oliphant exit off to Casey, as well as the Troop exit.
That's what I understand as well.
Yeah.
Right. But they didn't give us a sketch on the phase 2 part, so we're not sure.
Oh. Okay,
Well, these are huge.
It's
Building.
huge, yes.
big,
Yes.
big, yeah. More truck terminals, warehousing?
Yep,
Yes.
distribution centers, yep.
Yep, yep. Very good.
They are also proposing, but we didn't see it yet because they've asked for a rezoning in Troop, because it comes out on Marshwood Road, which is actually Troop right in that small area. They're looking to do some type of a convenient, like a truck stop, convenience store kind of complex. But Troop would have to do a rezoning on that, and we haven't heard anything on that yet.
Okay.
Mary Liz,
Yes,
will these lots exit through existing HOP roads out to the state highways?
yes,
They don't
there's,
need their own-
there's,
They're existing roads. They already have the HOPs in place. Slipco.
I'm not sure about that. They do?
I'm not sure either. I mean, if these are, you know what I'm trying to say? Like if if this was planned for in the original industrial park and the connections onto the state roads,
No,
I don't
HOPs
think,
were paying,
no, I don't think so.
mm-mm.
so they
This
might
is-
have
This is a whole
they-
new,
HOPs for these.
they do, they do.
Yeah, I see it up the top, HOP. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I believe there's two HOPs on Marshwood Road, and then there would be a third one onto East Lackawanna there at the interchange in the phase 2 part.
Well, the poor guys with the firehouse in Oliphant had a deep into their pocket, so it's going to happen up here too.
Yep, okay. Any other questions on that one?
No, that's good.
Liz?
Okay, and just because Petoniak's not here, I'm gonna pick on Jessup.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
A little bit further down there, they have a new comprehensive plan and a new zoning ordinance.
Harry, I see where music fired a couple things in.
Yeah, not many, John. Things are
All
quiet
right,
down.
Quiet down in the down borough, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, are we good on the Jessup?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, the comprehensive plan was an update, and it was a very basic. It was only about 40 pages. Just some comments I had. Again, they had some issues about the floodplain. I mentioned that they needed to reference probably the new maps. They didn't take into account the county's open space plan. I know there's a lot of areas like the Music Mountain habitats and stuff that are listed as priority areas in the open space plan. They didn't address that. And the other thing that I commented on that I thought was a big issue, because you're supposed to analyze the zoning in adjacent municipalities, which they did, but they used Oliphant's old ordinance. And Oliphant had passed a new ordinance in November of last year, and the districts have changed that border Jessup, and they didn't take that into account. Okay, and then on the zoning itself, which is actually the next review down, no impact home occupation is mandated, and with specific requirements in the MPC, which they didn't provide. They're calling it a low impact home occupation, so they need to include that in there. One of my big pet peeves is the plural of antenna. The plural of antenna is antennas when you're referring to cell towers and things like that. Antennae are insect receptors, which they keep. The entire ordinance was full of it, so I was like, that's just my grammar coming out. That drives me nuts.
I love it.
Article 12 dealt with signs. It was quite extensive, quite confusing, and in light of the Supreme Court case a few years ago that if you have to read the sign to determine what regulations apply, it's unconstitutional.
Huh.
So I just suggest that they go back and kind of make it a little bit more neutral content is what the Supreme Court says.
What were they
And
trying
then
to do? Outline?
what's that?
What were they trying to do? Like outlaw some kind of signs?
No, but they had if it was a political sign, you had to do this. If it was a directional sign, you had to do that. If it was a business sign, you had to do something else.
Oh, so they're
And
basically
because you
outlining-
have to read the sign to determine it's a political sign, then it's unconstitutional. What you have to do is in this zone, all signs have to be this size, made out of this, can't be
Yeah.
lit, things like that.
Nothing related to content. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And then my last comment was it was very comprehensive, but it was also just extremely difficult to navigate through. And I just think the average Joe, including the zoning officer, whoever that may be, would have a really hard time trying to figure out what's going on here.
Who put it
Mhm.
together, Mary Liz, for them?
That.
Yeah, what's his name? Charlie Schimmel? What's that? Cindy
URDC.
Urban?
Urban
Yeah,
Research.
URDC.
You already
Oh.
see?
Yeah, they're out of Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, they've been around a long time. Yeah.
So has Charlie. He's very good usually at what he does.
It was very good. It was very comprehensive, but it was just very, maybe
Yeah.
too much in depth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mary Liz,
Yeah.
just one of your comments, number 13 on the comprehensive plan. Why would there be a reference to Scranton in their plan?
Oh, I don't remember. It has something to do with the transportation system.
And they call it the Hill District, and you said it should be Hill Section.
The
Well,
Hill
that's right,
section.
but I'm thinking, why is Scranton? But if it's
Right, why
supposed
are they
to
even
be there,
listed? I don't remember, to be honest with you.
that's not, who cares? But
Right,
that's good.
right.
Like you said,
They might have been referencing something that I don't know, with public transit in the Hill, but it would be pretty much everywhere.
yeah. What if that was supposed
Yeah.
to be the Hill District of Jessup? Because I don't know, because they do have, that part of the borough, the houses, everything is up as you leave the flat part of the town. It's very hilly.
Right.
What if
Yeah.
that Hill District of Jessup?
I'd have to go back and look.
I don't come up with too much because I'm getting old, but
Right,
that just jumped out at me. Like, why are we in the hill?
right.
Yeah. Liz, the Rinaldis had a lawsuit pending up there because of some change of
Yeah.
boundaries.
Right.
Was it in Jessup or Oliphant?
It was Jessup.
Okay, and did Jessup address that, or did they say, let it go to court?
Well, it will be addressed if they pass this new ordinance.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
However, I don't know if they're gonna be happy with they rezoned it from industrial to R2 or something.
Yeah.
With the justification in the comp plan and the new ordinances, they want all those heavy intense uses on the other side of the Casey Highway.
On the other side of the
as
Casey.
opposed to- As
Oh.
opposed to in the town itself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Good.
okay, and so that's it for reviews.
Okay, anybody have any questions on the reviews? Hearing no reviews, I'll entertain a motion to approve the reviews for June, July, August, and September.
I'll make
So
the motion.
moved.
Cindy, second. Rose? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thank you. Motion's approved.
Harry,
Yes,
just let the
yes.
thing know, I think there was 2 or 3 Labella subdivisions in there that I recused my approval vote from those Labella jobs.
Mary Liz, will you make a note of that?
To recuse, okay, yep,
Only on the 3, like, I think there's 2 or 3 Labella projects in there,
okay,
So when John gets called into court, he's not going to be accused of approving his own work.
approving his plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe it, Harry, I've been accused of everything in my life.
Yep, I hear you, John. Yep.
You remember the days, Harry, if there was a problem, they just put posters in the mix.
Put Moses in there. He can take the gunshots.
I
They
took a
bounce
lot
right
of
off.
bullets. They never got me, though.
That's right. All right, let's move on to updating our review fee schedule. Look at this. June
Okay.
1st, 2008. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I guess it's time, right?
I
Sheesh.
guess it is time.
Yeah.
Way past.
20 years?
Yeah,
It's 12 years, yeah,
12 years, yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, talk to us, Liz.
All right, so nothing drastic except we decided we need to put maximum fees on some of these larger reviews. We want to keep lot line revisions, lot consolidations, which are basically fill in the blanks at the $75 flat fee. Minor, which would involve a little bit more of a review, we bumped that up to $100. And we also changed it to 5 or less for a minor subdivision instead of less than 5. So it gives you that extra lot, which is also in line with more of the ordinances that municipalities, how they define minors, generally 5 or less. So we decided to make it consistent.
Gotcha. Okay.
Majors, we're just increasing the flat fee to 100. We're keeping it 15 per lot, but a maximum of $1,000 on a major subdivision.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says maximum fee 1,000.
It's in red, yeah.
Minimum 130, because that would be a
Sorry.
two-lot,
Yep.
a two-lot with a
Yep.
road,
Got it.
and maximum 1,000. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Land developments, we're keeping, again, the single family, the second dwelling on an existing lot as the flat 75. Multifamily, just bumped up the general fee to 100 with the maximum of 1,000 again on a multifamily project. Non-residential, if they're per structure, if it's between 1 and 150,000 square feet, the 100 flat fee plus $5 per 1,000 square feet with a maximum of $850. If it's a non-residential structure, again, per structure greater than 150,000 square feet, which would be these large warehouses that we're getting, $100 plus $750 per 1,000 square feet with the maximum of $1,200. So that's the $6,000 fee that shows up on this tri-borough, because they've actually asked us if we could give them a better fee than the 37,000. So we told them we would, we would bring this up today, and if you guys approve this, then that is what they're going to pay us, the $6,000.
Gotcha.
And again, nonprofit schools, governments, no fee.
Okay.
Mary Liz, is this proposed fee schedule comparable to what we're seeing in other other counties?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's probably in the middle. Some of the more rural counties are a little bit less. Luzerne counties are a little bit higher.
Okay, thank you.
Rose, as you go, I'll say southeast into the, Delaware Valley down there, and even in the Allentown area and stuff, the fees are much, much higher. And they have
Yeah.
they have transportation fees for future road improvements. You pay recreation fees. These are relatively
Modest.
very doable is what I'm trying to say,
Right.
Good. About time. Anybody have any questions on the proposed fee schedule? I think it's long overdue.
It is.
About
Do you
12
need a
years
vote
overdue.
on that? Move
Yes,
a
we do.
motion to approve?
Yep. Motion to approve is second.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
More money. Okay. Good. Let's
think
move
that's
on to other business. Is there any other business to come before us today?
Yeah, Harry, I see one thing. I just checked the letterhead and we're still at 8 members. Aren't we supposed to have one more? The commissioners, are they aware of that? Mary Liz, or?
Brenda, do you know if they're? Is Brenda still there?
She might be on the work session right now.
Oh, okay. Brenda might have had to leave.
Okay.
I know the
You're-
previous commissioners were aware of it and kind of sat on it, so I don't know if it's been brought up again with the new ones. I'll have to talk to Brenda about that.
Good. Good.
Because I mean, it gives you one more player to try to get the quorum by, and it's.
Yeah,
You're
and I
right.
think we had talked about getting somebody from up in the Carbondale area on, because
We
there's
did.
the area that's not, Paul Kazmarzik, yeah, I think
Yeah.
we mentioned him.
Yes.
That was the only area that's really not represented on the board
Excellent.
right now.
Good. Liz, you'll follow up with Brenda on that?
I will, yep.
Terrific. Good.
I know
Good
we
point,
had
John.
we had a shakeup of the planning commission in Scranton. I mean, Jimmy Thomas, Sam Thomas has been replaced by Billy King. I mean, Sam's been there 30 years, you know what I mean? And but it's going to be a full commission, but you know, you need maybe there's you need a turnover, maybe you don't, but it's nice to have a full membership because when you're trying to draw from a quorum to get a
Right.
quorum,
Right.
it's very easy when you're full, you know?
Yep.
You're absolutely right. Good. Any other business? Hearing none? Any public comments? We have no
No
public.
public.
Hearing none? How about a motion to adjourn?
So
Just a
moved.
comment. Good job,
Okay.
Harry and Mary Liz and Brenda, carrying
Guys.
this for 4 months of activity.
Yeah,
Lots of business.
yeah.
Hey, thanks
Oh,
for
I know what I wanted
participating.
to bring up. What, real quick, I don't know if you know Matt left.
Yeah.
Matt is now working for Luzerne County.
Oh,
No,
you did?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, and we have
Okay.
a new planner actually starting next week.
and who is that?
Yeah, her name is Joanne Payne, and she is the secretary for Ransom Township. And she has a lot of, she's a computer whiz, which is a big help for us.
Great.
And she has a lot of experience with the planning commission and the zoning hearing board there and keeping them under control and doing their minutes. And, you know, she knows what needs to go out. And so I think she'll fit in nicely here.
Are you
Great.
gonna have her doing the reviews, Liz?
Yes, yes,
So you're gonna have to train her.
yeah. But at least she knows how to read a map, so that's a start.
Yes.
Well,
She knows how to turn on a computer.
good.
Yeah, and turn a computer on, yeah.
Yes. But no, thank you, Mary Liz. You did a great job. And, you know, we're down Matt and then Steve, you know, had
Thanks.
his health issues. So thank you, Mary Liz. And if
Yeah.
anyone knows of anyone that could be a fit for the transportation planning position, it's on our website, the job description.
Okay.
So I really would love to find someone, you know, that's qualified and can step right in, that we don't have to train.
Matt went to Luzerne County. Was it because he lives down there, or was it a matter of money?
No, he got the director's job.
Did he
He's,
really?
Director, I did not.
Eddie left.
No
Oh,
kidding.
wow.
Yeah, in the planning department.
So,
Wow.
so who they have? So they have him, John, Chris, and there's another one?
They have a secretary and they have somebody who does their zoning and their plan reviews. And I
Okay.
don't know his name.
Okay, well, they're building up staff after all those years of just Adrian and Nancy.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
But they took them all from Lackawanna
They,
County.
they did, yeah, you're
Three of
right.
them there, yeah, yeah.
They know where to
That's what I
find good
said.
people.
When they,
We train them. We train them, and they go
And
elsewhere.
we send them down there.
right.
Yeah.
The newspaper called
Nice.
me from Luzerne, what is it, Citizens Voice,
Citizens Voice.
and they wanted a comment from me. I said, well, he'll fit in well down there.
Yeah.
He's got two others from Lackawanna County.
Right.
Mhm.
Hey, Brenda, I see you're back. John made a comment about members on the commission. I'm not sure if you were here to hear that.
No, so one of the commissioners walked in. I apologize.
Well, that would have been a good time because we were looking to find out if we can get another member on there,
Okay, yes.
and if they were aware of that.
Okay, good. I'm aware. We've been going through the different boards, so I know, you know, and I'll get this on their radar as well.
Okay.
Terrific. Thank you.
You're
Good.
welcome.
Anybody else have any other comments?
No,
Okay,
I
thank
wish
you so
Matt
much.
well. I wish
Oh.
Matt well.
Yeah.
I know his father told me he has a great undergraduate degree in planning, and I think he has a master's too, right, Brenda?
He
Yes,
does, yeah.
no, he was, you know, he's very well educated, experience, and you know, we were, you know, sorry to see him go, but I think he'll do a good job in Luzerne. And hopefully we can find someone again that with the qualifications required for the job, because it's sometimes it's difficult within the area, so we may have to look outside as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed his reviews. He's the first one that went to 2 and 3 pages, so it's he really loved it.
Yeah.
And they actually have, jurisdiction over about 20, 23 or 25 municipalities down there on zoning and subdivision. So
Really?
yeah,
They
I don't know if all those comments are going to go over well with some people, but
That's true.
No.
Right.
They'll learn.
Probably not.
yep, yep.
They'll learn. Yeah.
Hey.
They'll temper those.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but I know it was one of Steve's reviews. Somebody approved the plan before the county got to it, and it came to us. I guess Steve called it illegal, an illegal approval. Was it North Abington?
Could have been.
There was
Oh, boy.
one. The plan was already stamped approved up there by them, and before it got, and it has to have county before local approval. So
Huh.
I knew Steve would catch that.
Yeah.
Illegal. I love it.
The only thing is it's illegal only if somebody challenges it.
Yeah, you're right.
If it gets through and we sign it and don't have an issue with it, then it was just not done properly. I don't know if I'd call it illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's
Yeah.
you'd hate to have
Not protocol.
not
Right.
protocol or something
Right.
that's when there's lawyers involved in financing for a big
Mhm.
project, you don't need those kind of glitches because that could
Right.
kill it.
Right.
That's right.
Somebody could challenge that. So at that point in
Yep.
time and slow things up.
Especially the lending institution could say, "Wait a minute, you don't have this." It's
Yeah.
we're going to loan money on a project they could stop.
Right.
Good.
All right, people.
Anything
enjoy
else? Anything else for the good of the order? Guys, thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
next
you.
month.
Enjoy.
Same.
Enjoy.
Everybody like doing Zoom? I think we'll be doing Zoom for a while.
Okay.
You kind of get used to it after a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I do. Except I do about 10 a day, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a
my.
little tired.
Getting old.
And they're still not letting anybody really in the county building, so I guess we're gonna be doing this for quite a while.
Yes,
I would think so. Yep.
yes.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Guys, thank you
Yeah,
so
dude.
much.
See you, Harry. See you, everybody.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job.
Right.
Bye-bye.